If I click on the final exam information or final exam data folder here, I have a number of different questions. So question 1 has an MXD file attached to it. Question 2, question 3, question 4, and question 5 also do that. You can also see at the end here I've provided a review in both .doc and PDF format. What we're going to do today is look at a couple different tutorials where I go through the answers to this particular review here. So you can see this final exam review. I provided the questions for question 1, for question 2, for question 5, and question 4 right here. And then I've got a couple about question 6 and question 7. I'm going to basically break up this review into each of these different questions here. So for number 1 here, it says open up the folder called question 1 that's located in your question1.mxd. And you can see right here, question 1, you're going to open up this particular MXD. This will open up our ArcGIS application. You should see 2 data layers there. One represents North Carolina counties, while the other represents all public schools. Unless specified, please use the population for the year 2013. And it asks you to answer each of the following questions. The worth, the question worth really isn't all that important. So this is what we're looking at right here. So this is question number 1. Now I'm just going to go through each of these questions and how to answer these. Okay. So I'm reading these off to the side here. So for number 1 here, what's the geometry type for the layer representing public schools? You can see it's points. My options are points, lines, or polygons. If I wanted to actually look at the properties of this, I could double click on public schools. Go to general or source, and you can see the geometry type is point. Number 2, what's the population of Durham County? Well, I can uncheck this. I can use the identify button if I want to. There's a couple different ways that I can do this. I can label the features, and I can just zoom in and use the identify button, which returns the individual attributes, and that'll give me the population. So I can just click on the population, and you can see I asked for the most recent population. You should see 284, 540. Or I can open up the attribute table. So I can right mouse click, open up the attribute table, and I can sort this. So right mouse click. It's being a little slow with me. Sort ascending, and I can just go down to Durham County. You see Durham County right here, and I can go over to the entry, which represents POP 2013. Question C. How many counties have a population of less than 100,000? I can do this the easy way or the hard way. I can sort ascending on POP 2013 and literally try to count these or grab these. Or this would be a case where I do selection, select by attributes. Under my layer, I go to NC counties, and then I'm going to say POP 2013 is less than 100,000. So I need to generate a query. Okay? Now like we have here, remember POP 2013 represents the attribute, less than is the operator, and then 100,000 is a number. Remember we do not have commas attached to these because this is an SQL query. I'm going to click apply. You can see the answer here is 73. The next question says, was Dare County one of those counties? So I can go through and check to see if Dare County is one of those counties. Or I can click on Show Selected Records. So this will just show me these selected records. I can right mouse click, sort ascending, and I can just go through the 73 records that were selected. And I can see that Dare County's highlighted. Dare County's highlighted in blue. That means it does satisfy that particular query. Question F. How many counties have a median age between and including 40 and 45 years of age? So I'm going to clear this. So I'll be back to my 100 counties. So I've got my 100 counties. And I have an attribute field here called median age. Okay? And basically median age means that if we were to line up every single person in this county, the middle-aged person would be that. And we've talked about some of the advantages of using median as opposed to averages or means. Okay. Under my layer, I'm going to use the same exact, I'm going to use NC counties. instead of pop 2013, what needs to be true about median age? We know median age needs to be greater than or equal to 40. Yeah, because I said and including, but it also needs to be median age is less than or equal to 45. So this is the query that would be generated. Median age is greater than or equal to 40, and median age is less than or equal to 45. And I can click to verify if it likes me. I'm going to click apply, and you can see that there's 43 that satisfy with this particular query. Okay. Remember, be careful about some of the troubleshooting that we have here. Okay. Remember, this would be an example. This is an example here of a syntax error. Remember, we need to include median age for both of these. Okay, we need to include median age. Computer isn't smart enough to figure out if the median age needs to be less than or equal to 45 or some other attribute. Okay, so be aware of both your syntax errors that we mentioned as well as our logical errors. What if I put an OR here? You would see that all 100 satisfy that, because any number in the universe that I can think of will be somewhere that's either greater than or equal to 40 or less than or equal to 45. Because remember what the OR does. It means one or the other. Okay, let me clear this. This next one, how many county names end in the letter A? Okay, so I have these county names. I could sort these or count these, but that's going to be really hard. So we can use our wildcard character. So I can go to name, like, name, like, and then single quote. And then I'm going to put the star, which represents the wildcard character, A, single quote. So name, like, single quote, wildcard character, asterisk, A, single quote. Okay, so remember, there's going to be no asterisk after the A because I want it to end in the letter A. And click apply. You can see these are the three, Catawba, Transylvania, and Watauga County, that end in the letter A. Okay, that end in the letter A. Okay, I do not want a wildcard character after that letter A because that would imply there may be other things, other letters, other phrases that come after that A. And I'll do an example here. Watch what happens if I do put a wildcard character after that A. You'll see there's 59 here. Okay, this means I don't care where the A is. Okay, so be very careful about what these mean. Okay, this is what I was talking about with these logical errors versus your syntax errors. Okay. Question I. In looking at public schools layer, what type of data, nominal, interval, or ratio, represents the end grade? Okay, so if I were to look at these public schools here, I'll probably just zoom out here using my public schools. I'll clear these. Okay, end grade. Okay, this is probably going to be representative of interval data, because since 0 represents kindergarten, you could possibly go below that or before that and have negative numbers if you really wanted to. If you're in 4th grade, you wouldn't say you're in half the grade as someone as 8th grade. You would say you're 4 grades below them. So remember the types of relationships that we can do with nominal, interval, ratio data. Okay? With interval data, we can do additive and subtractive relationships, but not multiplicative or ratio relationships. Things like age or population, I can say you're twice my age or half my age, or the population of this is 3 times that, or whatever. We can't do that with interval data, and this is an instance of that. How many public schools are in the state of North Carolina? Well, I've opened up the attribute table, and you can see that there's a little star right here. This little star means that there's a lot of them. Okay, it doesn't want to count all of those and use computer resources to do that. So if I really wanted to count all of those that were more than 2,000, I could click on Move to the end of the table, and you'll see there's 2,594. That's the answer to question J. Next one says, find the number of schools within the state that house only grades 9 through 12. So of these 2,594, you can see a begin grade, an end grade. Okay? And an interesting thing about begin grade and end grade, you notice that these are left justified. So these are going to be treated as nominal data or text data. You see the number of teachers is lined up to the right, which is going to be treated as numerical data. In this case, it would be ratio data, but it's numerical. So if we really wanted to, we can look at the properties of begin grade, and you can see it's represented as a string. So when we do run these queries, you'll notice that there's going to be parentheses, single parentheses before and after these, as opposed to these numbers that we were looking at in the previous questions. In this case, we do selection by attributes, and instead, in the layer, instead of NC counties, we're going to look at public schools, and what needs to be true about a public school, or in this case, this is going to be a high school. Beginning grade equals, and I can click on Get Unique Values, and you can see all the possible values that I have here. 01, 02, all the way to KG, NG, P0, P3, PK, UG, whatever those mean. But I know for a high school, beginning grade is equal to 9, and the end grade is equal to 12. Okay. So beginning grade equals 9 and end grade equals 12. And is important. If I use OR, I could look for schools that are grades, 9 to 11 or 11 to 12 or whatever, because OR means only one of those criteria is satisfied. I'm going to click Apply. Right. And you can see there's 416 high schools in this particular case here. Okay, 416. Okay, right here. Next one says, find the number of schools within the state that house only grades 9 through 12 in Guilford County and Forsyth County. Now when I look over here, I don't see anything that says the word county here. I do see county there, but I'm going to do if I don't provide that, what I'm looking for is, this is going to be a select by location. Okay, so select by location here. I'm going to zoom over here just a little bit. I'm going to zoom out. Sorry here. Okay. So what I'm looking for is, I want to find all the blue dots, all the high schools that occur in Forsyth County and Guilford County together. Okay. So I can do some sort of select by location. So I want to find all of the public schools, but my selection method, I want to select from the currently selected features. I just want to pick from the public schools that intersect with counties. Now we need to tell it, because if I were to just find every blue dot that intersects with every county, well, it's just going to give me all the blue dots within my layer. So I need to go through and specify Guilford and Forsyth County. There's a couple ways I can do this. I can do an interactive selection tool right here and pick these, or I can go to my table. So I can right mouse click, open attribute table, and I'm going to select Guilford and Forsyth County. So I have Guilford County. Over in the left-hand tab, I can click Guilford. I can click Forsyth. Now I'm just holding the control button down, and now you notice these are highlighted in blue. There's a couple other ways I can do this. I can just run a query a select by attributes query on the NC counties layer and do the same exact thing. So now what I want to do is select from the currently selected features in public schools that intersect. And now you notice here it says use selected features. Okay. So use selected features. So there's a lot of different places where I can mess up. So select from the currently selected features in public schools. So this means that I'm just going to pick from the blue dots that I've already picked that intersect with NC counties, use selected features. I'm going to click apply. You notice what happened. It got rid of everything outside of these two counties. When I right mouse click, open, you can see there's 34 of these. Okay, 34 of these. Okay, I can do this backwards too, and I'll do this real quick. Like I showed before, I can do the interactive selection. So I can hold these down, hold down my shift button, or I can just grab these if I wanted to. Okay, just grab these if I want to. It works the same exact way. Okay, So I can do some sort of select by location. I want to select public schools that intersect with NC counties. Okay. See what I did there? I did select from the currently selected features in. There's nothing selected, so it's going to give me nothing. So select features from. It's going to pick all the schools, and I can go backwards and say public schools. Instead of create a new selection, select from the current selection that satisfy this. Okay? So just be careful about the way we use our select by attributes and our select by location. So this is the end of question number 1. Please stay tuned for the rest of this review.